Hey there, War Gamers. Justin the Arm Painter here from Death Ray Designs, and you guys are tuning in for my third video blog. I'm out here at the DRD Labs today doing some work and figured I would do a quick shoot and talk to you guys about what I've been working on this week. Before we do that though, as with the last video update, gotta get a little caffeine in. I'm not sure why I like it so much, but I really do. If it's not some type of energy drink, I'm really digging various types of coffee and stuff like that. They really fuel the hobby juices, so to speak. With that being said though, let's get right into what I've been working on this week. I have filmed my second battle report. As some of you guys may know, the first one did not work out too well. We had some major audio issues. This one we are still struggling a little bit with the audio, but the video itself is salvageable. If it's up, then you guys may have already seen it. If it's not up, then it will be coming. The video itself, it's not my best video production, but like the 12-day series, once we get into doing battle reports more often, the production value will go up because we're going to learn kind of where we want to position the cameras, what we want to do, what we want to say, things like that. And after talking to Austin about the 2 battle reports we filmed, the one that's going to be usable, we've already begun making some changes. So one of the things you're going to see in the future is we've dedicated a different space for filming. So there's less concerns with foot traffic or people that are running machines, and the noise that comes with that. We've also got a dedicated studio space and a spare room now that's going to be a lot better. And for audio, which has been a major concern, audio is a major concern, we have mounted a microphone in a much more opportunistic place so that everyone's audio that's involved for the filming comes in at a proper level and distance and all that stuff. So that's going to be really good. We're also tinkering with mounting cameras from some different angles. One of the things that I really wanted to do in the battle reports is to show dice rolls, but me and Austin kind of had a concern that at some point, especially in these longer battle reports, you just end up seeing just dice and that's it. So one of the suggestions I had was to come up with a dice tray or a dice tower or something like that, and we'll mount a camera above it. And if all the monotonous dice rolls are done with that, we can do cuts in the software or fade ins, fade outs, so you can still see the battlefield, but the dice rolls pop up on the screen and they're in a section of it. So the camera itself is generally not going to be paying straight into just dice. Like, you'll see the table, you'll have the dice rolls in a corner or something, your opponent's interacting, and then them moving or removing models with the dice rolls. So we're hoping that that's going to be a good change. We're going to get some nice overhead shots, which I think is going to be really nice for surveying the battlefield. But in general, one of the major things that we have to do with the battle reports is just getting more comfortable filming them and getting more comfortable with the armies. One of the things you're going to see in this battle report with Bob, who's from the Garrison, and also one of our local gamers, I'm not super familiar with my Dark Angels these days. It's been a while. It's no secret for any of you guys who may know me that I'm struggling with 8th edition. It's not my favorite edition. As someone who's been playing since the beginning of 5th, tail end of 4th, things have really changed in 40K, and it's a struggle for me to keep up because I don't play like I used to. When I started 40K in 2010, I played 2 days a week when I was in college, Fridays and Saturdays, and I mean, we're talking probably 20 hours of Warhammer every week, so nothing to do. So on Friday, we'd get up, lunchtime, and we'd play until 2 a.m. Saturday morning. We'd all go home and go to sleep, and then the people who didn't have to work Saturday, we came back at 12 o'clock Saturday afternoon, and we'd play all night again. And that's just what we did. We played lots of team games. We played on a 6-foot by 8-foot table in the garage, so we did like larger than normal games, but it was always like a 2v2 or 3v3, so we played these big, epic, not quite apocalypse games. But going into 7th and 8th edition, 7th I was kind of still familiar because the rules were basically the same, but the formations really just started to kill it for me. Then 8th came out and they destroyed templates and flamer templates and stuff like that, blast templates, all that. I get why, but I don't feel like it really sped up the game, to be honest with you. But that's neither here nor there. Point is, 8th has changed. Getting used to stuff. Units that functioned one way before don't function the same now. I'm looking at you Vindicators, you piece of craps. They look so cool. I love using them, but they don't demand the level of respect they used to get on the tabletop of editions previously. Like Vindicators they're not scary anymore. They don't do anything. their battlefield role is not what it used to be. Now they're elite hunters. They don't kill hordes. It's just, they're just not that good. So point of that whole spiel is that once we get comfortable with the rules, the battle reports will be faster. We won't have to reference so much, won't have to cut so much. So filming will be faster, the footage will be better, and we're gonna look more competent on screen. I was pretty happy with this battle report. I don't want to spoil how it went. It is gonna be a little lengthy. We're gonna try and get our 40K normal size games. We want our battle reports to be about an hour and a half tops. This one's gonna be pushing 2. It is what it is. But again, I think once we get more comfortable with the rules and the formatting of the battle reports, that time's gonna drop. So quality is gonna go up, and time invested from you guys watching will go down. And we're also gonna continue doing a post-battle report. So, you know, after you've watched the main battle, then you can, you know, come, you know, to that video to get some dialogue after the fact. The battle report's already long, so if people just want to see the gameplay and the cool painted minis, cool. But if you also want to see the 2 players interacting and talking about how the game went, that'll be a separate video, and that'll be up on Facebook/YouTube and all of that. So those will be good once we get that going. I'm really excited. One of the other things we're going to be trying to do is do some additional battle report type stuff with different games. So Kill Team is a different game, but still 40K universe. Those battle reports will be a lot faster, and we're also really interested in doing some narrative campaigns with persistent effects. So like, you know, characters who die or level up or gain abilities, stuff like that. We want to actually do that, and then have our named characters and so forth. And then as the series goes on, for however many we want to dedicate to it, you guys will see a progression of characters, which I think would be cool. One of the things that I think I would like to do, which I guess I could not spoil it, but I'm going to spoil it here for you guys that are watching. One of the things I want to do for Kill Team is you get to kind of name your characters. Well, probably going to be naming my first wave of characters for the first Kill Team I ever get to participate in, after people have been super supportive of what I've done over the years, super supportive previously of my endeavors on Twitch, and people who are still active in the Garrison community. So if you happen to tune into one of those and you hear someone go, you know, this is Battle Brother Sith, not Sith like Jedi, but the way it's spelled is different. You know who you are. That's one of my UK buddies who's been super supportive of all of my hobby endeavors since we met, which I think was about a year ago. And you know, he paints and shows a lot of minis in the Garrison, so it'd be kind of cool if he tuned in and he was like, hey, I can't do a British accent, but that would have been cool. You know, but he's like, oh no, you've put me in a battle report. He doesn't sound like that, but that would be funny if he leaves a comment and he notices. Or my buddy whose call sign is Wheels, the guy I've talked about in previous vlogs, where he's one of my best friends from online. You know, him tuning in and being like, I saw what you did, Justin. You named that guy after me. You know, that'd be kind of cool. It would suck if the characters get wounded or go down, but it's just kind of cool that I'm paying homage to them on the tabletop by naming my soldiers and Kill Team, which is very small scale, and you manage it that way. So it'd be kind of cool. Moving forward from 40K and Kill Team, one of the things we're really wanting to try and do is some Infinity, and I've actually got some minis to work on for that, and Austin's kind of encouraging me to branch out, try something different from 40K. I've had Infinity in the past. I've only done a couple demos with it like 4 years ago or something crazy. I think it's interesting because it's low model count and it's a D20 system. I also think some of the minis look cool. Some are not my cup of tea, but I do kind of want to show you guys what I've picked up. Boom. Whatever this thing is called. Corvus Belli Infinity Army Pack. What kind of name is that? Ariadna Sectoral Army Pack. What kind of name is that? Like, you can't have some cool name like, you know, Captain Kills or something? Like, I mean, that's not very cool either, but yeah. I mean, I guess on the side of this thing here it says USARF. I guess you know, US Ariadna Forces maybe? I don't know. But it says ARF, which is funny because there's dogs here. So let's pop this open real quick. All right, so I guess this is all kind of pewter, which you'd think I'd be familiar with that. I've painted many of Infinity in my commission days. But the minis do look pretty cool. I gravitated towards the US Ariadna because they look kind of like modern day, like US soldiers or modern soldiers, yada yada. I guess in Infinity terms, these guys are kind of antiquated compared to all the sci-fi aesthetics that they have, but I think they look pretty cool. And like this guy right here, he's got a cool helmet on. These guys like Balaclava? Did I say that right? Heck, I don't know. Those things you pull over the face like a ski mask, but tactical. That looks pretty cool. So this is oh, I guess this is the chick who rides the motorcycle. So that's cool. Yeah, not all of them are wearing like fatigues. This one's got like a sweatshirt thing on, like, you know, one of those military sweatshirts with the lines. Maybe. I mean, that's pretty descriptive. Justin, you just said military sweatshirt with lines. Sure did. All right. Oh, this guy's cool. Yeah. So he's on the box art. This guy's got like a little boonie hat. I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but that looks pretty sweet. I'm digging that. Another Forces guy. Looks kind of like a SWAT team member. Yeah, because he's got his little chest rig with the pouches. Yeah, I'm digging that. He looks pretty sweet. One of these more, I guess, slightly more armored dudes. It's got like these little hand flamer things. And now moving on to the things in this box that I don't care about, to be honest with you. Not that the sculpts are bad, because they're not, but I'm just not a big fan of these wolf things. I guess this is the anthrope, whatever the heck this is called. He's got kind of a cool knife thingy to buy, but it's not my cup of tea. Just like with 40K, I'm not a big Wolfen fan. That doesn't mean the models aren't cool, it's just not my thing. So here's the actual wolf guy, whatever his name is, that's kind of like anthropomorphized, if I use that word right. I think I did. My vocabulary is not super good, but I think I got it. So he's got this big knife thing, and he's got like, if you guys can see that, maybe not, but he's like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Fast and Furious sized gun here, this big giant hand cannon. So I guess it makes sense if this guy is a big giant wolf. Maybe I'll name him The Rock in my army, who knows. I did pick up a couple other minis for this that aren't in yet. I have 2 blackjacks coming because I'm not interested in running these wolf dudes with my Ariadne forces. So I picked up these mech bros that look kind of like, if the robots from the Matrix, if you remember the ones where the pilots got in and they had the gun arms, if those had like a baby with the mech suits from Avatar, the movie, not Airbender stuff, but the movie Avatar, with Jake Sully. It looks like those, and it looks really cool. Presumably there's a guy inside of it, and he's like manning the suit, but they look super awesome, super cool. So I went ahead and picked up 2 of those. Points-wise, I have no idea how that's going to affect my spread because I don't know what I'm doing with Infinity. Austin was just like, you should get some painted, let's play. He does not sound like that. But so I figured that would be cool. Pick those up. In addition to that, I have a couple other minis that Austin gave me for Infinity. So he gave me this little fella right here. And we've got, what is this guy? Kazakh Spetsnaz. So this is an Ariadne mini. I have no idea how you build an army if I can't use this because he's US, or maybe I lose benefits because he's not US, or maybe I lose benefits because they don't all have the same keyword or something. I don't know how exactly it works, but he looks pretty sweet. I dig the sniper rifle thing he's got going on, and he's got like this beret, so it's pretty sweet. He gave me that a while back, so I've got that. And another mini that he gave me, what's this thing? What do we got going on here? Oh, right, so I guess this is some kind of like limited edition thing he gave me. I'm assuming I can use it because it says Mercs on here, Army Mercenaries. I don't know, maybe I'll end up painting it and he'll be like, Justin, that was stupid, you can't use it. We'll put it in the display case and use it for photos or something. But it's this Drew's Shock Teams. It's got this blue-haired chick on here, but she looks kind of cool. She doesn't look overly sci-fi-ish compared to the Ariadne forces that I have. She's got a jacket on, looks like something from maybe Star Wars with the, the reinforced padding on there. Cool pants on, little knee pads, but whatever. I think she looks cool. I'm probably not gonna paint her with blue hair because I like normal stuff. A lot of you guys that see the stuff I paint, you realize that my art style is very, what I would call realistic, sort of. I don't do high contrast well, and then on top of that, I don't always do crazy colors. So she'll probably have blonde, black, or brown hair, like normal stuff. I mean, I guess maybe having blue hair could be normal for some people, but I don't know. I'm going for something different. So we'll see what happens. Moving on from the Infinity, I did show you guys last week some updates that I was doing on my Dark Angels. And before we wrap up today's vlog, I'd like to give you guys a little preview of what I've been working on. Now, don't make fun of me for painting slow, sirs and ladies, please. I am trying to go as fast as I can. So Bailey donated this one, and we've got our, I've been working on doing the edge highlights and so forth on him. I think he's looking really cool. I dig it. Doing his power sword here is gonna look pretty cool. That is from the Nemesis Dread Knight. So it's got like a little saying here that is kind of, I guess, Inquisition or Grey Knight themed, but people probably aren't gonna really notice that because whatever. If they do happen to notice that one thing and that's their critique or their nitpick, kind of misses the point because, you know, I went with a different effect on them. One of the things that was told to me when I started Dark Angels was that they use a lot of plasma weapons and power weapons. It's like their thing, their shtick. Kind of like salamanders or meltas and flamers, and then mastercrafted forged weapons and stuff. So I thought it would be super awesome to make my Dreadnought have a power sword that's its count as power fist, right? You know, so he's still got his power fist on there, but now he's got a sword instead. You know, so we're just gonna proxy that. And if someone complains, it's like Dreadnoughts can't take swords. He's still got the fist, you know. Plasma cannon on there that's not super optimal, but he's got it, and then a pretty cool looking resin base. So I've spent quite a bit of time edge highlighting this. You guys are familiar with me, know that I, like somebody might over-engineer something, I overpaint a lot of things. Doesn't mean the quality is always like Golden Demon worthy, because it's not. But the time invested is crazy. It's just because of my OCD, and that actually brings me into some topics I'll bring up again when we get to looking at the rest of the stuff I've been working on. But first, let me show you the Leviathan. Here we come to save the day. All right, so here's the Leviathan. And I worked really hard on this so far. Quite a bit of airbrush work. We've been working on doing the edge highlights and stuff. I still need to get the edge highlighting on the green parts of his shoulders. And then we have to get in and start doing all the silver. Get his helmet, which is gonna be like a cream color, paint his knee pads. And then we'll throw down some decals, and once the decals are done, we'll start weathering them up. But one of the things I really want to challenge myself to do, which I mentioned previously, is I don't do well with high contrast, maybe abstract painting, sort of. I mean, maybe, I don't know. High contrast, we'll go with that. So one of the things I really try to do is push the contrast. So you'll see when I bring up the other Dark Angels, they're not quite the same or dramatic transition in color. But I've got this dark, you know, shadow here, coming to a peak of a lighter color, and then the lighter color comes around here, and then the dark shadow on the side here, trying to like push the light up and let your eye know that this is a high point and these are low points. Trying. These colors were here because I wanted to really help push the depth of the transition from this peak to coming down here, that slope, and then that slope dropping off and coming down to the bottom. So, you know, this being a high point on this panel, I figured maybe that would be where the light would be, and then we try to push some shadows down here to really get that depth. And I think it looks cool. And then I came in and we edge highlighted, and, you know, we got the gray lines. There's still quite a bit of work to do on them, but I'm really loving this model so far. I think from a competitive standpoint, I probably should have ran dual cannons on them. These little bros are here, pew, 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 pew. But whatever, he will do his job and hopefully look cool and have some good survivability. One of the things I really wish that not Games Workshop, but Forge World would get on top of is getting their Dorito, whatever Dreadnought that thing is. Get that thing actually, its extra bits up on the website. Years ago at one of their con things they attended, they had previewed a resin piece that pops on his shoulders that emanates a area aura in, like it was a 5+ invuln save. You could pay the points. It's in the rulebook. They never put out the piece of gear. So if you buy them, you have to convert the shield thing if you want to, or you just don't put a gun on top of him and he's got this big hole in his back. It looks stupid, but I wish they'd put that out because I would actually be interested in getting a Dorito or the Dreadnought. I'd like to get one of those for the Dark Angels, and it has that invuln shield, which is really good, but I found from my limited experience with Dark Angels, if I don't bring Azrael, I have major issues, right? So he's almost an auto-include. So if I have that Dreadnought, that opens up a slot to do something else with an HQ, and the Dreadnought can do kind of what Azrael did. I think it gives a 5+ aura invuln instead of a 4, I think. Don't quote me. Somebody in the comments let me know if you know. But that would help with that, and I think he's a relic, maybe. But the relic stratagem lets you pop it, and he, I believe, lets Dark Angel units within 6 inches reroll, I think, ones. I don't think it's all, because that's Chapter Master, but I believe it's reroll all ones. So he kind of becomes like a walking captain, sort of, like an Azrael for Dark Angels Light, and to get the reroll I have to pop command points, which is fine, but I think that would be cool because it'll give me some different things to do on the table, still keep some of the effects that make the army function, but get some nice flavor on the table. So, Forge World, not that you're watching this, but if you are, please produce that shield thing that you previewed at one of your cons years ago, or something. Make it happen, please. Let's show you guys the rest of the Dark Angels that I've been working on. Now, again, they're not done, but I've been trying to balance quality with speed. So I've done a little bit of speed edge highlighting on the armor plates on the little bro, but for the most part, I did a lot of dry brushing. I did my dry brush, my wash, came back with another dry brush to get the armor panels on there looking the way they are. And I think it's turned out pretty good. I really do struggle with speed, with painting. I'm trying real hard to do these quickly. It's probably still gonna be slow, but slow for me, maybe faster than like snail slow for me. Like, it's a little bit faster. So again, did the dry brushing, all that, some light edge highlighting on the hands and stuff to get that going. And let me grab one of the scout bikers because they look, they're still bikes, but they look a little bit different. So some different areas for the edge highlighting, got his hands as well. Actually I had to paint his boots. So he's got these black boots and, we got to get in here and paint all the other details and stuff. But I'm pretty happy for the way it came out with just dry brushing. Like the front panel there, it looks really cool. I did a dry brush on the tires, which some of them look better than others. So like this tire looks pretty good right here. Some of them don't. But I did that, dropped a wash. We'll come in and do all the silver. But the crown jewel of my edge highlighting endeavors so far with the speed painting of the Dark Angels, if you can call it that, was the Landspeeder Dark Shroud. So let's grab that and show you how that's turned out. And don't lose it over the dry brushing, folks, but I'm super excited about it. So here he is in all of his glory. Again, it's going to be a while before he gets finished. There, let's grab the actual, there we go. Now the crew, how do you go in there? You gonna go in there? I guess it just seats in there. Anyway, the crew's missing their shoulder pads with the exception of this guy over here who's got his green one. And you'll notice that they all have a left red or black arm. That's part of the fluff for my successor chapter. So I'm running Dark Angels, but it's my own chapter called The Angels Enlightened, which you will find out more about that as we do battle reports and then other vlogs, and maybe like we'll sit down and do like a little lore narrative for what I'm working on. But there is a reason for why those shoulders are black. You will notice the same thing on the left shoulders for my Black Knights, not on the Scouts, not on any of the infantry that you saw or you may see in the battle report that will be going up soon if it's not up already. Against the Eldar, you'll see that I don't think there were any of them that had the black shoulders, black arms. You will find out what that means later. Back to the Dark Shroud though. The only edge highlighting I did on these was like a little bit on this little battle bro here. I did a little bit on his left arm and stuff like that. Not much. Stuff that the dry brushing couldn't really get to very easily. But the rest of this was just dry brushed. Like, I'm super happy. Like these all the really sharp, hard corners it's got, it picks up that dry brush so well. And then you, if you put in a shadow and transition to a really bright peak, and then have that really sharp edge highlight, or in this case dry brush, you get these really crisp, nice looking models, which is kind of like that high contrast paint scheme I was talking about that I struggle with still, but it came out well. And it was dry brush, like it was super fast. And I did similar effects to the engines and stuff on here as well. I painted them black, dry brushed gray, then I came in and dry brushed over some of the areas for the silver, so like the tips, hit it with a wash and toned it down, came back in, I think with a light dry brush maybe, to pop some of those edges a little bit more, but it looks, for the time invested, this is looking really cool to me. I just got to figure out what I want to do for the rest of the detail. With that being said, folks, I think that's going to wrap up probably what I've been working on this week. Just to kind of do a quick recap, Battle Report number 2, which will be the first one released, may be out already. If not, it's coming. It will be Dark Angels, or Angels Enlightened, versus Iand and Eldar from Bob Smith from the Garrison, also one of our local gamers. So when that comes out, make sure you you pop in and take a look. You're going to be seeing me paint up some Infinity hopefully soon and get into doing some battle reports sometime in January, as well as getting updates on the Dark Angels, or Angels Enlightened as they are, and hopefully see where I'm getting with that. From there, there'll be some additional things I'll be working on, but I don't want to spoil those too early. Suffice to say, I've got a box of Warhammer minis for another army that have mostly not been built. There's 10 infantry that have been built, but the rest are not. And Austin actually gave me a couple of Forge World vehicles the other day, kind of as a, here's a gift, take it, build it, play with it, do something, use them type thing. So that was a nice expansion, and we will talk about that at a future date. So as with all of our videos, folks, if you enjoyed this, make sure you hit that like button, smash subscribe, and hit the little bell wherever it's at on here so that you get notifications when we put up other content. Let me know what you liked or didn't like. If you have any questions about what I'm working on or suggestions, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you go check out our battle report if it's already up. If not, make sure that you pay close attention to your alerts when it does go out. Watch that. Let me know what I got wrong, because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I got wrong. And let us know what we can do to get better. We definitely want to make sure that our content is something you want to watch, and that in particular our battle reports are formatted in such a way that you really enjoy them. So if we did something wrong rules-wise, formatting-wise, or otherwise, if you have suggestions or critiques, let us know. We do take those to heart. Additionally, if you like this content or any of the content that we've done previously or we've talked about doing, make sure you head over to deathraydesigns.com. Anything you do there helps support the studio side of it as well. And that keeps me doing videos, which is a good bonus. So with all that said, folks, I think I'm going to wrap it up today. We're going to get to some painting. I'll probably throw up some photos in the Facebook group so you guys may see what I'm working on. But in the meantime, I'm going to bid you guys farewell. Hope you've had a good day. And as always, happy wargaming.